láyé olúgbọ́n mo ké borùn méje ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé àrẹ̀sà mo ké borùn mẹ́fà ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé ìsẹ̀yìn èmi ra kókò mo ra rán mo ra sányán bàbá sọ àfọ̀lẹ́ ló lè pélé.
Hello everyone, my name is Adeyemo Adegbemiga Gani. I welcome you to my new Yoruba Abrahamic YouTube video. And in today's topic, we will be touching on the identity of the Yoruba, who they truly are, what had really inspired or what led to the name, and how they've been thousands of years ago before they got the name. So first of all, we need to really understand that the name Yoruba is just a recent name that was given to them, and this name can be linked to when the late Samuel Ajayi was actually working for the European, when he was actually enslaved by the Fulani people, and the European rescued him only for them to brainwash him in order for him to rewrite the Bible against the Yoruba people and dub Eshu as Satan and all those other things he mistranslated but on purpose. So the late Ajayi started the idea of the Yoruba concept, and the name also reflected later in the Malian Timbuktu library. In one of the book I think it's Timbuktu in one of the book I read, the name also reflected it. So those are just the two accounts I was able to find of how on the earlier days of the use of the Yoruba word for the Yoruba people. So where does the where does the concept came from? He dubbed them as the Yoruba people based on it all happened that when some migrants of the Yoruba people were actually flocking from the northern region of Nigeria down to West Africa based on the Fubi were actually unsettling them. The Yoruba are struggling to get back on track based on the colonial transatlantic slavery that was coming to an end. But the Fubi were also enslaving some of the Yoruba that were actually still migrating from the land of Central Africa, passing through the likes of the Maiduguri down to the Benue region. That is a story for another day. So they came in different ethnic side. So the late Samuel Ajayi could not even identify them, because prior to then, the Yoruba people used to bear their ethnic names or their household names. Some will bear the name of Awara Egba, the people of Egba. Some are Awara Ife. Some will bear the names of Awara Akobi, Ile-Nubi. Some will bear the so they'll bear random names. Samuel Ajayi, who was westernly educated, them could not really identify them, but he understood that they were actually people of the same ancestry. So that was why he named them collectively as the Yoruba. The word Yoruba was derived from Eya, which is lineage or different ethnics, and Oba. And Oba means royalty, or the royal, the kings or the queens or whatever. This is why we have Eya Hara Oba, ethnics of different tribes who are of the same royal king lineage. That is where the concept of Eyara Oba came from. Because they were actually facing the Fulani people, who has been a long arch enemies of the Yoruba people since thousands of years ago. So they later uses the derogatory name to mispronounce the Eyara Oba. They turn into Yoruba, that is thieves, because they actually see the Yorubas as threat, as political thieves who are sharing, whereas the Fulani are not even indigenous to anywhere in Africa. This has always been why they've been they have different history of trying to evict indigenous African people out of their land in order to have a place to call their home, because they've always been nomadic all the way from the deserted land down to West Africa. So that is where the concept of Eyara Oba, which later turned to Yoruba, where it actually came from. But prior to that, the Yoruba are blessed people. They are not just blessed by their land, which is why they were called the Negro or the Aniogo or Negro land. The Aniogo, like I said, was derived from Negro or more Aniogo, the blessed child. So when we want to reference it to their land, it becomes the blessed land, Aniogo land, Negro land, or Negro people. Aniogo, the blessed one or the blessed child. So the Yorubas are not just mind you, from Negro land to Central Africa, those places are where they call the promised land in the entire Abrahamic book. I will touch on that too, based on different analysis from that same Bible. So the Yorubas are not just blessed based on their name and their land, they're also blessed in heritage and in culture and tribes. So, and this really make them to be most populous ethnic site in the entire Africa in antiquity, because the Yoruba has groups, they have ethnic, they have sub-ethnics, and they are equally dominated. So in those days, when we identify with Ife land goes beyond the kingdom of Ife and Oyo. The kingdom of Ife starts from today's Yoruba land, started and extended straight down to today's Ghana, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Mauritania, and Co, where the Moors dwelled. So they are all under Ife ruling kingdom. And why the Oyo kingdom, which is Oyo Alaafin kingdom, those regions spread from that Oyo region straight down to Congo, Niger Congo, and down to the likes of the today's Sudan or Kenya area. So from the left hand side, the Ile-Ife move extended like this. From the right hand side, the Oyo kingdom stretch out. So naturally, the Yorubas are dominant in the entire Africa, which was why the continent of Africa was sometimes dubbed named Ethiopia after the most populous indigenous people who dwell there. So, and this kind of division now brought about different histories among the Yoruba people across Africa. So the likes of the Akabulan was actually another Yoruba word that was Okan nínú Ibu Ile. It actually means a unique land who has all the tastes or possesses all the great things you can think of, and it was very unique from the rest of the continent. That is where the concept of Akabulan was derived from. So all this human or the ancientism of the Yoruba people actually make the Yoruba very unique people, and this is why you can also see references before the pre-colonial era and after the colonial era. Ibadan was oftenly known as the most Negro city in the entire world, the largest Negro city. That's the center of the Negro land. You can Google it. The largest Negro city in the entire world was formerly known as Ibadan, while Ibadan was also derived as the most civilized set of human beings in the entire Africa, excluding the likes of the Egypt, after different random invaders have later settled there. So Ibadan was actually because that is where Ibadan or Ile-Ife were the core root of all the Negro, the Aniogo, the Yoruba place. So after Ibadan, we can as well see the pillars of Africa, everything, first television station in Africa, it all came from this kind of central place of where the Negro center people came from, which was why you can actually say why the Negro people that they were victim of enslavement from the shore of the same West African, Dahomey, Badagry, that went to the Europe, America, they also be the same black people that developed the Western world. So directly or indirectly, the Yoruba developed Africa, and they were the head start, they were the figure. This is why they dubbed themselves as Oguadudulawo, the pride of the entire black continent. We are the front runner of the black nation. We are the burden of the black nation mounted on us. So we are the carrier of it. We front run everything in Africa, and you can see it realistically till today. You can see in earlier time it was Ibadan that was the largest city in the entire Africa, much more, especially in West Africa. And today another the same Yoruba land, in which is today's Lake, still remain the economic hub of the entire Africa, except the European one with the South African, which are the South African don't even own anything in their father's land. So we can't categorize South Africa as an African-based development. But in Nigeria, the entire development in Africa are owned by the African people, and they are the Yoruba people precisely in Yoruba land. Before the amalgamation of Nigeria, the Yoruba people run Africa as Ibadan. After amalgamation of Nigeria, the Yoruba people still run the same Africa from Lagos land. Maybe tomorrow it will be Ondo. So, and likewise in the Western world, the enslaved Yoruba people, Negro, developed America, developed Europe, because they are all Yoruba people of pure blood, directly or indirectly. So all these things are actually pointing that these people are, as a family, they have something that is very unique, which I'm not bragging, I'm not trying to belittle any of them, that are more advanced than average human, on earth, and that is what make them the unique people, the sons or the daughters of the angels who have terrestrial ability to think beyond the random people, and why likewise why they dub themselves as the pride of the world. Without them the world can't survive. The entire technology civilization came from Ifa. They own Ifa as well, the far technology. So that is where we are actually going to. So let's now jump to the Abrahamic aspect of it. All these analyses I've made, I'm only saying it from the political history, and the physical one you can evidently see from your own direct and indirect, because we have to link it with the Abrahamic view of it. In the Abrahamic view of it, across the entire West Africa and Central Africa, there were four great set of the Yoruba ethnic groups, major ethnic groups, or should I say major class of Yoruba, not technically class of Yorubas, which are these four set of people are sometimes dubbed as different type of Ile-Ife, Ile-Ife of Nigeria, of today's West Africa, Ile-Ife of the, so they are sometimes dubbed with different names, but from the Abrahamic perspective, they are categorized as the Jews. They are dubbed as the Jews. Some are dubbed as the Israelites. Some are dubbed as the Hebrew, while the other ones are dubbed as the Arabs. So let me touch on what this name actually means and when it was derived from. So let's start from the idea of Jew. The Jew concept was actually derived from àwọn olùjẹ́rìísí Ifá Elédùmarè. Àwọn olùjẹ́rìísí Ifá Elédùmarè. The traditional people also use the slogan of Ifá olùjẹ́rìí. So the Jerry, the witness, those who can vouch with their life that Ifa tradition is actually from the Almighty in heaven, and it is divine. So they are the people who actually evolutionized Ifa, which Ifa originated from them, from the clan. So in Abrahamic books, so the Jews are also described as the priesthood lineage, people of the priests who understood. And if you check out the Torah, all the Abrahamic prophets were Babalawo. They are oracle practitioners, speak like the word of the Almighty, Hell, which is Hell, Edumare. Speak like so. The Moses was Babalawo, Kenika was Babalawo. Orunmila, we know that the Babalawo aspect actually came from Orunmila, which I know his name in Yoruba land with full details. So the concept of Jew was actually taken from Olujerekwa. It is an affiliated name with the concept of spiritualism, which can be traced to the down of Ifa oracle, which all the prophets also obliged to in the entire Bible. So that is where the concept of Ifa or Olujerikmi actually came from. So let's go to the Israelites. The Israelites are the migrant Yoruba, because there are some early migrants of Yoruba who left West Africa to earlier dominated Central Africa, which is today Congo, the father of the pre-Congo tribe, and some of the Yoruba that dwell in North Africa. Minority of them today, or should I say majority of them are today's Kenya people, especially those who stayed at the Mount Kilimanjaro area. They are pure Kenya. Most Kenyans are direct Yoruba descendants, and I got the reference from the letter which Mohammed Sultan Bello of Sokoto of Yaosu wrote to the Portuguese in Lagos State when they were actually clamping down of the Yorubas who were leaving Kenya down to Yoruba land, when the invasions of the foreigner persisted in North Africa. The letter was written that they are people who dwell around the mountain on Kilimanjaro. Most of them spread across. The letter, I will brief you. You can see the brief of it. If you actually want the full letter, I can send it to you, or you can Google it. So the most Kenya people, this is why even in entertainment, the Kenya people like the Nigerians. It's not them, it's their spirit that is actually they are actually touching back to their roots. This is why the Kenya people naturally like the Yoruba people who are mostly into the entertainment or topping the chart, the Burna Boy, whatever, whiskey. So the Kenya people are Yoruba people. Some of them swerved away, some of them ran to the upper side of North Africa and straight down to the northwest around the Morocco, Libya, while some of them entered Nigeria. So these are the migrants migrants ọmọ Oyasheriola tí wọ́n ṣẹ́rí lọ tí wọ́n tún ṣẹ́rí padà wálé, who first left in earlier migration, then headed back in emigration, revert back. That is where the concept of Oyasheriola sherry back. We majority of them are part of the some of the Ijebu people. We saw some that from the Igala. So all these Nigerian people who are asking me how are they related to Yoruba people, this is where the concept are coming from. They are actually the Igala. We have the like of the Jukun, Jukum, I think in the river Benue of River Niger. The like of the Berom of Jos, who founded Jos, the Berom people of Jos. We have the likes of some of the Tapa, Seluk, who I think Seluk is at the middle of Toba, the one in Senegal. And so these are random Yoruba people. They all came down from the Ondo lineage. Most of them came down from the Ondo lineage, which is why the Ondo and Ijebu have some twisted Yoruba tongue, because in North Sudan, where they are coming from, the Ondo and the Ijebu are spaces in North Sudan, in Kush land. The Ondo people, they dominated the Dongola region, which is Ibiadegunlese, where the crown descended to, returning to Dongola. The other side of the Nubian, the North Sudan, which is called Jebu Baka, was named after the Ijebu ni Ile Baka. The Baka is what was referred to in the Quran. The Quran identified with Baka, not Mecca. The Mecca thing is just a clone of what used to happen across the Nubian. The former Arabian land, the original Arabia, which they said Oduduwa came from, is at North Sudan. Not the one in Middle East, is at North Sudan. So when some Yoruba people argue that some portion of them actually came from Mecca, they are practically right with explanation. Some of them came back after earlier migration out of Ile-Ife. They later came back when the foreign invasion persisted in North Africa. They headed back to West Africa to integrate back to their majority kind. So it was never as if nobody was living in West Africa before. So if some Yoruba now said they came from Ile-Ife, they are also right from their own angle, because the majority Yorubas are already living at Ile-Ife as well. Do you see where the misunderstanding is coming from? Those who say they came from Mecca, some portion of them came back home after the foreign migration persisted. Those who said they came from Ile-Ife, they're also right. The majority of Yoruba has been living at Ile-Ife. And those who actually said they are not even from Ile-Ife, or we don't even hear their history again, they are also right. Because after the Belgium invaded Congo and all this foreign migration, some of them flee. They flee to this different part of West Africa, which was their last hope, down to today's Mali, all these things. So that is where the concept of different random approach to Yoruba history, the misunderstanding where it actually came from. So I've treated the idea of Jew. So the migrants who goes and come back and all these things, they are doing they called Oyasheriola. One sherry losita, one to sherry pada. So in Hebrew they call Yishirahil or Yishirahila or Yishirel, which became Israel. So Israel is the name of the people, not a name of land. The land of Israel you see today are the European made or the cloned one. Which Israel doesn't have land. They are migrants who move from one place. As a matter of fact, their father was Akobi in the Torah, because Akobi was the father. They call him Baba Oyasheriola, Bami Oyasheriola. Son, the turn is to Bani Oyasheriola, Baba Oyasheriola, Bami Titi Oyasheriola. So that is where the concept is actually coming from. So from North Sudan, where they are live, the Congo, the Ijebu people, minority of Ijebu who are living there, who shares border with the minority Ondo people there. They share border. The Ondo dwell at Dongola. The Ijebu people dwell at the Ijebu Baka. So when they want to call themselves, the Ijebu people always call the Ondo people always dub the Ijebu people àwọn ará bí, and my other family from their other side. That is where the concept of Arab came from. Àwọn ará bí is a Yoruba word. This is why the Arab was derived from Arabi. Arab. Go and check it. I'm not making this up. Go and check it. Arabi. Even in Yoruba land today, if I come from a polygamous family and my father have 2 wives, if I want to refer to my other brother from another mother, from another wife, I can call him àwọn ará bí yìí, àwọn ará bí ọ̀hún. That is where the concept. So the Indo people were actually calling the Ijebus àwọn ará because they know they are related, even though most of them didn't come from Ile-Ife like the rest. So this is where the concept of, so the Ijebu, in a nutshell, the Ijebus are the original Arab, the original Muhammadan. I treated it how Muhammad was a black man, how the Quran described where that Jebubaka is. The Quran specifically described Jebubaka as a tropical rainforest where harvest used to be done a year in, year out. The Quran described it. Also describe it as a place which is closer to the place where the people of Lut were turned to. So these places are far away from Saudi Arabia of today, because Saudi Arabia of today is a barren land, is a desert land which cannot grow anything. So it's now left for Muslims to either follow what the Quran describes as Baka, a tropical rainforest, or you go and be following Saudi Arabia, which Quran in description contradicts. So that is another story entirely, which I detailed in my book, that you can all I have different references to it. So in a nutshell, the Ijebus are the Arabi, and Muhammadan was from Ijebu, whether you like it or not. If the other prophet in the entire Bible can be using Ifa oracle, and Muhammad said he follows the tradition of the Abraham, another prophet of the Torah, do you actually think Muhammad wouldn't do Ifa as well? When David has Ifa, Moses has Ifa, everyone has Ifa. So you actually see Muhammad is not an Ifa, even though when he related that his own legacy was also the continuation of his forefather, Moses, Yeshua. So it's a common sense. It has nothing to do with what is going on. So in a nutshell, the Ijebus are the original Arabs, the Ondo people, and some of the earlier migrants from North Sudan back who are spread across and have their own new tribe name of today, like the Ishekiris, like the Igalas, the Nukpe, the Jukun, the Seluk, the Tuhuba, and so many other tribes outside today's southwest of Nigeria. They are the Oyasheriola, the Israelites. While the Jews are the real indigenous West African Yorubas, starting from Ile-Ife, starting from the likes of Ekiti, part of the Ogbomoso. They are the Jews. Ifa originated from there. Àwọn olùjẹ́rìísí Ifa Elédùmarè. They are from the lineage, priesthood, where Orunmila spread to when his children later spread and lived at Ekiti State. They are the Jews. Orunmila, his children became the Jew people. Àwọn ni wọ́n jẹ́rìí sí Ifá, the testifier to their father's legacy, which is Ifa oracle. That is where the concept of Jew, the priesthood lineage, where it actually came from. So if you check out all these things, practically, and if you now, so the Yorubas of Central Africa, they are actually some migrant portion of the Oyo people who left specifically at the reign of the Aláàfin Ọ̀rànmíyàn. I have reasons why I say under the reign of Aláàfin Ọ̀rànmíyàn was when some migrant of Oyo people migrated out. The empire was growing. So, and the Yoruba loved to spread out, to dominate and have kingdom. Aláàfin Ọ̀rànmíyàn kingdom started from today's Oyo Ile-Ife. In fact, his rulership overrided Ile-Ife to show how powerful Aláàfin Ọ̀rànmíyàn was. He ruled all the way from Ile-Ife beyond Egypt to show how powerful. They conquered land, and most of their people spread out to that kind of thing. Even when Oyo was used to be named as Katunga, the former name of Oyo was actually Katunga. The Central African people too used to dub themselves as Katanga. Until today, the Oyo Empire is still in reference to the Congo Oyo, because they're actually from Oyole. The Igi Shango, the first mathematical set that was discovered in the entire world, was called Igi Aláàfin Shango. So the Central African people were actually from Oyo people. They are the one who the Abrahamic people dub as Ebi Ara Ewe, Ebi Ewe, Ebi Ara Ewe, who was later shortened as Hebrew people. Ebi Ara Ewe, relatives of the Ewe. the group of Yoruba people who dwell from the Dahomey down to the Congo region, who dwell, some of them in Dahomey, they actually fled from Congo area when the invasions of the white people or the Pale Arab was coming from. So most of them fled. They actually fled from those places. So they are Ewe people, and those places used to have relationship. They are just Ewe people. So another name for the Yorubas are the Ewe. So they dubbed themselves as relatives of the Ewe. We are related to the Ewe people. That is where the concept of Ebi Ara Ewe, Awani Ebi Ara Ìdílé Ewe, Tati Jade, we are related of the people. They are the one who actually wrote the Torah. That is where I'm going. They wrote the Torah. They are closer to North Sudan. They wrote the Torah, handed it to the Egyptian. When they are the one who extended through them, civilization started from West Africa, extended to Central Africa, then to North Africa before it reaches Egypt. They are the one who took the civilization to those places. They are called the Ebi Ara Ewe, relatives of the Ewe people. I can literally draw the map of how the Yoruba spread, but I'm not really good in talking. I'm just trying but I want you people to have a glimpse of what actually is like. I have lived there. It's very, very easy for me to read different books and I'm trying to picture this is how it goes, this is how it works. So the migration that happened, the references can be seen from the book of the late Sheikh Antidio about the 4 different migration. The name which I said about the Yoruba people can also be drawn from one of the book I read from the university that the late Ajayi Crowther founded in Sierra Leone. Also, the idea of Ewe Hebrew can also be seen from the lexicon books, which was derived from the Jewish encyclopedia of how they came to Central Africa. So I picked my references from political history from different angles in order for you to have a clear picture of what is. So that is what I can say about the Yoruba migrant division before the pre-colonial era. So if you actually, the story is long, but I don't want to stay much because I'm also, if I keep on saying it, I will touch on another subject which I reserve from another thing. And the subject I shall be touching next will be how Judah, because how Judah, the son of Akobi, now remain at the central places of Judah of today. The likes of Ishekiri, the likes of the TV, the likes of how they all related to you through the Jacob's son, which they call the Judah Akobi, why the first son of him, who was Judah, was in central part, was at Ile-Ife to Benin. I will touch on that. That is another different story for another day. So you people, I'm not saying you should believe me. Make your more searches. I'm 99.9% sure of what I'm saying, but it only takes someone who has advanced thinking ability to picture what I'm saying, not those who are actually using today's map to sort history. So I will see you in my next video. Please help me share my video, make your comment known below. This is one of the requested video which someone's actually requested that I should do. So if you are saying more things, I will look for a video that will comprises all your questions together, so everyone can always see answers from different part of the story. So I'll see you in my next video. Let me press the like button. Die for now. Please let me share my video. Don't just give me good compliment. I saw most of you that gave me good compliment below but refuse to subscribe. Please help me so that you can encourage me to do more. Don't just give me you try, I like your video. Please let me subscribe too. It really helps me now. It motivates me to do more. Like I keep saying, I want to clock 1,000 subscribers. The day I clock it, I will give you my full breakdown of what is happening in my book. I will give you how you can make your own research from it so that other historians can have something, a foundation to rely to. So I'm not saying this to have some glory. I'm saying it so that people in Yorubas can begin to see that the Yoruba history predated the small colony of today's southwest of Nigeria. The Yoruba today's southwest Nigeria is just a small colony. It's just like 20% after the Yoruba 80% history that is remaining. So we have to really understand that limiting our history to today's southwest Nigeria, you need more education. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.